So do you care about how you will be remembered? Academy Award-winning filmmaker Taika Waititi told The Hollywood Reporter that we should all just take the pressure off and live our lives. So, yeah. This idea of legacy, what do we think of this? And does leaving a legacy matter to you?
I'm glad that other people clapped, because I actually really liked what he said. It sort of feels, and he said more than that, but it sort of feels like he's pulling back, looking at the big picture, having a laugh at existence and how weird it is, and being slightly nihilistic, you know, while he does it. There's a recent fact or suggestion that came out that there have been 109 billion people who have lived and died on Earth in the last, give or take, 200,000 years. And when you think about that and you think about how many names that we know, it's got to be, like, we've forgotten 99.999%. And so that just sort of tells you, you know, I don't know, that's a macro look at it. You know, we're here for a short time, not a long time. Oh my God, isn't that a song lyric?
It's a good time. A good time, not a long time. Very good.
A great philosopher once said.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at this as a parent, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think you know, legacy for most of us, unless you're like a big, massive celebrity, you're right. Like, Taika's right. For most of us regular civilians, like, what are you thinking? But I think of legacy perhaps on a more intimate level. Yeah. And I think of it as, what is the legacy of myself that I will leave through my daughter? Was I a good person? Was I a kind person? Did I raise her well? Or did I raise her to fight for people who can't, you know, fight for themselves? So that, to me, legacy becomes intimate. Because I think if you are the descendant of a terrible, tyrannical world leader, you're gonna be like, damn, that legacy sucked. Yeah. That they left me and the family in a name. So I think when you think of it micro, I think there is something to that without having the pressure of, I need to leave some grand gesture of myself, which is like,
I like
really?
that. I like the micro version.
I like the micro version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if legacy becomes the reason why you do things, then of course it's kind of hollow because it's a little bit try-hardy. But I will say that I was thinking about legacy in terms of my own work, and I wrote a book. Mm-hmm. And there is something really powerful for me when I think about, when I'm gone, you know, there may still be copies of my book kicking around, and that book was about my ma, so, you know, there's kind of a double legacy there where I wrote something about somebody I care most about, the person who shaped me the most, and I don't know, one day if someone's digging around in a library, if those still exist, I don't know, they'll come across a book by me and maybe they'll read it or maybe they'll put it aside, but it is there. It's something to say I was here. Did I write the book in the hopes that I would leave a legacy? No, I mean, I wanted to tell a story, but I'm not gonna pretend that I don't get a little ego flattered by the fact that I wrote a book.
It'll exist when
I'm not gonna,
longer than we
exactly.
will.
I think someone like Taika Waititi too has the luxury of being able to front like he doesn't care about his legacy when clearly he's one of the foremost auteurs coming out of, you know, wherever he came out of, and lots of people from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to all the other things he's done are going to remember him. Like, I think that it's a little bit of false modesty.
But he's not wrong in the sense that, like, you might be right, but he mentioned, like, some of the filmmakers that, you know, changed the face of cinema that most of us still to this day do not remember their names.
Yeah, he's like, who directed Casablanca?
That's right. You don't know the name of the person who did that. But what interests me the most is just like that, when you talked about intimate, I think about, like, how I wish I knew more about my great-great-great-grandparents, like their stories, what were they like, what interests them, what hobbies did they have? And so I'm sure, this is not at all meant to be a plug, but I'm sure you've seen on your Facebook pages that Storyworth. If you haven't, it will pop up now because I just said it and it's listening to you. But anyway, I heard about it from a friend, and basically you can get a family member to write down their stories. It's a year, they get sent a question, you can make up the questions yourself. I've been doing this with my mom, and I send her questions, and sometimes you think you've heard all of your parents' stories. You haven't. I ask about, like, ex-boyfriends. I ask about, my sister and I get to listen to these stories, and I think if generations upon generations do this, because let's be honest, nobody's more interested in your family than you and people who are related to you. So I just feel like this is maybe another way to keep a legacy going and keep those stories alive.
Did they record the audio or did they write it down? No,
they just write it down and you add in pictures.
Oh,
it's really special.
Really
anyway, it's just hot tips.
Oh, yeah, you didn't plug, but you did.
I did
but
plug.
you did, because I'm like,
I don't have any stake in that.
Good, check it out.
Okay. Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.